Thanks for the great questions and keeping us on our toes.
Yeah,
That
thank you,
helps
mate.
a lot,
I
a lot,
appreciate it. Thank you guys. Thanks, guys. I really appreciate it.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Good to see you guys again. How are you?
Oh, good. How you doing?
Good. We're good.
I love this movie so much, and I love both of you guys. So seriously, thank you for fitting me into your time. I'm going to jump into this. There's a really quick moment early in the film I loved, which is a fan approaches Channing's character Alan and calls him Dash. And I'm sort of weirdly fascinated with that. I'm curious as to how often that happens with actors. Like when fans approach you, to what degree do they want to meet you, and to what degree do they actually want to meet a character you've played in the past?
I mean, I think a lot of people come up to me, I'm thinking they're going to meet Harry, but that's obviously, I get a lot of, it's gotten less over the years, but particularly at first, like it was very much like, I didn't expect people to know my name. I was just barely around. So like, you know, I'll get called Harry a lot. But I feel like, yeah, it's tailed off a little bit as that. And I think it's, you know, thankfully, like Harry's a wizard and does magic, and no one expects me to be able to do those things. Well, but you were saying like you play a lot of people who just like do the right thing, and that is a terrible pressure to have to live with.
Yeah, people expect me to do the right thing. I don't.
I have a hard time believing this, seeing as we've met many times for 4 minutes at a time over the last 15 years. I feel like we were clearly best friends.
4 minutes at a time, the last 15 years, let's say about the span of 7 films. 28 minutes altogether.
So best friends.
Besties. Besties.
I knew it. That's fair. You know, so much of this movie is about breaking away from doing the same thing over and over again, not writing the same book, not telling the same story. Daniel, you spoke out recently about not wanting to return to Potter, which I think is actually brilliant because I love the choices you have made post-Potter. So for both of you, in an age where sort of like nostalgia is king and sequels are money, how difficult is it to not go back? And Sandra, like, what has your experience been like in the times where you've returned to a character?
Every sequel I have done has been a disaster. So obviously, you cannot turn back time, as Cher likes to say.
I tell you this every time. I like Speed 2.
You know what? You have serious issues, emotional issues. It is, Daniel actually has a great idea. He and his friends have, what is it?
We're pitching Speed 3 horsepower, and it's Sandy on a horse.
I think it'd be amazing. And I said, I would do it if Daniel directed it and wore a little monocle and had like a jacket with a lot of pockets in it. Yeah. I would do that.
She wants a very specific type of director from me, but I can be that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be Weird Al. He could do anything.
Well, Daniel can do anything before being Weird Al. So I would trust his directorial judgment.
Great.
If he put
so glad we
have
have
this
your
on
whole
the record.
face
has changed. He just had like sadistic, sinister face.
Yeah,
like
that's my director face.
Oh my
God. You know, in true, like, it's the internet fashion, the one thing people are going to take out of this interview is Speed 3 confirmed.
Through Speed 3 horsepower. You got to put
Speed
with
3
Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah.
Radcliffe.
That's his director name.
We take the L out of his last name when he becomes a director.
Yeah.
Daniel Radcliffe.
Yeah, Radcliffe. Yeah, it sounds sort of more exotic somehow.
It does somehow.
The cruise control to horsepower. I'm loving it. As we wrap up, you know, Sandra, you have so many moments in this film where you and Channing come like that close to death, and it got me thinking. It has been a long time since you've died in a movie. Do you remember the last time you died? From my calculation, unless I'm wrong.
In the 28 minutes we've known each other?
Yes.
When was the last time I died? Okay, it had to have been a long time ago.
I could only find one instance of it, and it was 1993, Fire on the Amazon.
No, I died later than that. I died in Lucky Chances, where I was knocked off and found floating in a pool. Jackie Collins. Well, I was like a mob's wife, young woman. They took me out.
That's a remarkable survival rate. For me.
It's really you've got a great ratio. So, and Daniel, I know you've died a couple of times in films, and I'm really curious as to what an actor's attitude toward their character dying is. Like, does it bum you out when your character dies? Does it give you closure? Have you ever fought for or against it?
No, I think it kind of varies as to what the context of it is and what the thing. Like Swiss Army Man, he's a dead guy from the beginning, but there's other stuff that I died in. But
like when you died, you go, I'm gonna have a couple twitches, and then like at the last breath, like my eyes will. Like,
I try and go. I go pretty still, pretty quick. I think I don't like to milk it. I don't do the big opera death very often. But honestly, the thing that I'm always aware when I have a character that dies in something is I have to let my mum know, because my mum gets genuinely upset watching them.
Yes.
I did a World War I film, and my mum was like not happy
Yeah.
by the end of that.
No mom wants to see that.
Nah.
You know what? Yes.
Guys,
No.
I love you very much. I've been doing this a long time, and we've all spoken many, many times. And every single time, you guys are beyond kind to me. And
Oh
I
my
really,
God.
I want you to know I really appreciate it. I love you guys.
Thank you
very
for
much.
the
Cool.
thanks for the great questions and keeping us on our toes.
Yeah,
That
thank you,
helps
mate.
a lot,
I
a lot,
appreciate it.
And the people mountain. Where we're going, we don't need roads.